My name is Ulduz Ahmadzadeh. I am a dancer, performer, and choreographer from Iran. In the last few years, I'm working in a trilogy, which the focus is on different perspectives of female body from Orient in different contexts, in different cosmos, and also about the different images that it has in a Western context, also in the original countries. The first part is about mainly about the wailing and Orientalism, about prejudgments, which is projecting on female body. The second part is about the mothers and activists who are in prison and who are fighting for freedom and their relationships to their children. So my main focus is to give another images and other perspectives to mainstream images, what normally is in a Western country towards female bodies from Middle East or so-called Orient. The last part of trilogy, which is coming in October this year, 2022, I'm researching on historical and folk dances from Persian plateau, because I have a background in these folk dances. So I started dancing in Iran with my dance teacher underground, who she was the solist of national folk dance group in times of Shah. And after Islamic Revolution, she went underground. So I found her, and I started to learn all these dances from her, like also second hand and not from the original people. And then I started to discover the contemporary dance. So I came to Europe, and I started already in Iran, then I came to Europe, and I went to university and explored like the contemporary perspective of Western version of contemporary dance. And now I'm very interested to go back and understand what are the original movements, but not only the movements, also the another levels and another perspectives and other aspects of these folk dances. So my research is about to go back to understand the original function, and to also follow the changes of functions, because that was also a time of occupation, and so colonialization, which changes the roles, which brings the women as a sexual object, as a servant, as somebody who just move in a way should make the male or patriarchal to serve the patriarchal system. And also in context of Western colonialization, how they changes, how they brought this kind of dances to Western context. What is also very interesting for me is also the music component of these dances, or also music, because they are mainly danced by a little bit different understanding of rhythm. They have also a lot of uneven rhythmic patterns, which are also interesting for me in context of contemporary dance. Whether it's dance knowledge has for me lots of different aspects, lots of different perspectives, which I, as an artist, I in every and each project I go in different direction to understand what does it mean dance knowledge for me and how I can involve it in my projects. In a way, is dance knowledge for me is also the body memories, which I bring with myself from my background, which I really missed, for example, in my dance education. First of all, as I was here in Europe, I was really shocked about the techniques which are taught here. And first of all, I was open to learn that, but at one point I really came to that point that I understood that it's not speaking to me as I am authentically. So I started to discover another perspectives, another way of dealing with dance knowledge. And also my next project, Tarab, is also for me really follow this impulse from inside to discover and bring this dance knowledge from my original context to context of contemporary dance. Because, for example, the folk dances, the rituals which are practiced in my country or not involved at all in the contemporary dance scene in Europe, in my perspective, as I perceive it. And it's actually also my really inner motivation to make it more present, this underrepresented dance knowledge. And for me, is dance knowledge not just something which is exclusive. It's something that's that it has lots of aspects I really miss, and I think it's also somehow my responsibility as a person from this part of the world to go to discover and bring it here and make it visible. Directly not on my face, but what I experienced and find it very disturbing is the expectation that you as an Oriental woman, as an Oriental people, should bring actually the certain topics to the platform. So if I, as an individual, decide to work on points and lines, for example, to be just pure doing something, most probably I'm not so interested. So it means even it's somehow my interest, but I have the feeling that it's really hard to break out of this categorization as an Oriental artist, as a woman from Orient. Mainly the curators. They sit there and they decide. In a city I'm working mainly in Vienna, for example, there is unfortunately not really the possibility to be independent, to just do a project because of the funding, because of the space. You cannot really pay for that. So at the end, you need to fit in one of the houses which are funded, which they can cooperate with you. So it means at the end also about the aesthetic. The aesthetic should fit into the concept of the house. And there is also different houses like theater houses, which are more and less categorized. Also, like if you do folk dance, you go to this theater. If you do contemporary with this aesthetic, you go there. If you do very experimental, very crazy, you go to that. And it's somehow brings us as an artist in a point that you start maybe unconscious, but somehow also to change your aesthetic to fit in the taste of the curators, taste of the people who make the decisions. And I think we can change it as soon as you have diversity also in the decision-making positions and the power positions. If you start to have diversity in the institutional level, we can start to change this kind of issues. What I would find really great would be a platform that we can talk and have like a podium discussions with the public directly after the pieces. I also did once a piece which the public, the podium discussion was directly afterwards, always in the program. So I just did it with the podium discussions, which I think it also can really go further a little bit in the changes and also bring the topics to make it open and make the discussions happen. And make it also the frame open and also can give the public the space to speak, to make the questions, because I can also follow that the public, mainly the Western public, have lots of questions and issues to understand. And that would be really great if there is more talking around the pieces with the public. Sometimes I have the feeling there is less space to come together. And what other thing I miss, I don't know, maybe it's also my own prejudgment about the festivals, is also that even the artist doesn't do the topics about the Orient or about the original, just be included also with another topics. That would be really nice for us to be in the same level and this, like feel being in the same level like the other artists from Europe. That would be great. I still have this issue to find myself in a contemporary context, just being contemporary, just being a dancer, and not being Iranian artist from Iran, being here in Western context. Yeah.